Saturday morning, easy run. It's marathon day tomorrow. Today I'm just going nice and slow, plodding along, just making sure the legs feel like they haven't gone to sleep. But nothing I do today is going to make tomorrow any better. Just all about being fresh. Just get any last minute stiffness or tiredness out of my legs. Typically everything's hurting today. So hamstrings, so calf, so stomach. But you know what, I love that, because it's almost like it's your body. It knows what's to come. It knows you've got to put out a big effort. And I've always found that in the past. Day before races, it used to feel horrific, but I loved that. Even on the morning of the race, you'd feel so lethargic and tired, but it was just your mind telling your body, hold all your energy back, exert the minimum amount possible, and then when the gun goes, you give it everything and empty the tank. So we're just plodding along, about 8:30 minute miling. It's just very much just time on feet, doing something for the sake of it, just so I don't feel too tired tomorrow. I'll probably drop a couple of strides in it at race pace, or no quicker than like 6 minute miles. I'm really hoping you can hear me because this wind is awful, but I've got my mic on. So the last day or so I've been working on a little bit of a fueling strategy for the marathon, completely new to me, with the help of Kev Seawood, Irish Olympic marathon runner from 2016, 210 guy. So big thanks to Kev for helping out. He uses SIS products, so he gave me some pointers and some tips. So I sent a couple of ideas to him and he helped me out. I'm going to be taking 8 gels. It's a lot. One of them's on the start line though, so I won't have to carry that. But my plan is to take that a couple of minutes before the race starts with some water. Then I'm going to be taking a gel at every water station, which I think is about 6k, 11.5k, 15.9k. Then there's a one at 20, one at 25, a one at 29, and then the final one I'm going to take at 33k. So it's about 9k to go, and I think that'll be okay. Hopefully with all the carbs I've banked in the early part of the race, they'll see me through to the end. I totaled it up, it's about 220 grams of carbs. 2 of the gels have got caffeine in. I'm going to take one at 15k and one at 25k. They're both 75 milligrams, not the 150 milligrams, because if I have 2 of those I'll be probably putting a bit too much strain on the cardiovascular system, and that's a mistake a few people make. They don't look at the content, they just see caffeine. I'm going to take it. So yeah, 75 milligrams is all you need in an hour, I think. I know I'm a coffee drinker, so I'm used to it, but I don't want to strain the body too much. And then I'll also be taking water on at every station with the gels, help the absorption. Some of them are liquid based and got electrolytes in. Some of them are got sugars in, which again the water will help the digestion on those. Obviously it's a bit of an unknown because I've never done more than 2 gels, which I did on my 20-mile run, and this time I'm doing essentially 7 whilst running, 8 if you include the start line one. So I'm hoping my stomach is up to it, but there's not a lot I can do if it's not. I'm just gonna have to slowly take them down and run with a bit of water, run with the gel, and just try and ingest it slowly rather than one big go. But that I won't know until I get going. And then if I'm feeling a bit rubbish come 36k, I think there's a water station, and 39. I'm hoping one of those is a gel stop on the course because they provide gels. So if I'm feeling a bit rubbish, there's always an opportunity to take a gel on. I think they're high 5 gels. Never had them before, but if I'm in trouble then needs must. But my plan is to not have anything beyond 33.5k. But yeah, that's my fueling strategy. Whether it's going to work, I don't know. we'll find out tomorrow. Probably nice if I nailed it first time. Now the plan, I'll go home, get showered, have some lunch, pack a bag, and then me and my wife are going to drive down to Chester together. We'll get some food tonight. Might try and catch up with old friend. Scott Overall lives down that way. Scott was someone I ran against, train with occasionally. Good friend. Haven't seen him in a while. I had a nasty motorbike accident a couple of years ago, which he had us worried. I might even have to pick his brains a little bit on the marathon, because he ran in London 2012 Olympics. Very experienced, ran lots of marathons, knows his stuff. So I've also set something up on my watch on my Garmin. It's called Pace Pro. And I've set the course to Chester Marathon. Put in target time 2:50, which I think it's safe for my 3 hours. It gives me room to pick up if I want, or room to slow down if I'm struggling. So yeah, I've set it at 3 hours, and it does it based on the course and the gradients. And then you can set it to negative split if you want, or positive split. So I've put in a slight negative split, so I'll go out conservatively. Yeah, even split would be 125 through the half, and then obviously another 125 will give me 250. Because I put a negative split, it'll put me through about 126, 127, and then bring me home in 123, 124 for the second half. But it accounts for gradients, and it tells you which miles to run fast and which miles to run slow. That is a hell of a feature. So I'm really looking forward to trying that out. I think that's unbelievable. But yeah, having the text, amazing, but you don't want to be that runner who's forever looking at your watch, like every 2 minutes. I use the lap pace feature, which tells you how fast that lap is going to be. I think that's a really, really useful feature. But then I just look at the splits, that's about it. So yeah, I'm going to try this Pace Pro, and it'll just kind of it'll hold me back, I think, rather than push me on. It's finally race day and on the way to the course now. I was up at 6 o'clock, I had a very, very rubbish sleep. Beds weren't very comfortable at all. Then I had some breakfast, had some Weetabix, some Crunchy Nut cornflakes, croissant and a coffee. Just got that on the way in at the McDonald's drive-thru. So now it is 7:20. Race starts in about 1:40, so we're going to get parked up. I'm going to catch up with Piersy, do a little warm-up with them, and then we'll head to the start. There's no turning back now. Done a little warm-up with Piersy. Not long to go.
Don't go off too quickly, just make sure you stick to your race plan as much as you can. And whether it's your 3, 2, 1,
1.5 mile in. 27 minutes. Going well. We're averaging 6:03, which is 240 pace, just under, isn't it? Running with Piersy. Alvarez, Liverpool legend, running for Wakefield today. 12 miles, 5:59 average, Piersy.
Not bad. Let's just keep it together now.
He wants 2:38. I've been rubbed into it. Run out 2:36 pace.
I can only persuade him when I got here, he said he was doing it without even asking.
All good fun. Until the second half, yeah, we die. But now we're feeling good. 5:59 average. Coming up the halfway. Got a good little group behind as well. Right, 1:18 at the halfway. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. My right ham's a bit tight, getting a bit tight, but hopefully it's nothing. Feel alright.
Well, it's either going to be amazing or a disaster. We'll keep plodding on. Well, we're through 16 mile in 1:36. Feeling really good. It's just end up easy. I've bloody loved this. Even if it goes wrong for the last 10, still enjoyed it. Great having him to run with.
It's been great. Rolling back the years.
It is. Old loft for mates. And now we're on the country roads and we've been picking people off slowly, starting to dip into the sub 6 minute miles. Hopefully we can maintain it. Be nice if we can. I think we're on for 2:35, which is 25 minutes ahead of expected. Ah well, when in Rome. Through 20 mile, just outside 1:58. Good going. 10k to go. Time to knuckle down. Right, it's the day after the marathon, and what can I say? That could not have went any better. That was outrageous. So, a few of my friends have messaged me saying, "So what happened to sub 3? Why are you suddenly running 2:33?" Reason behind it: I went to Chester with every intention. The aim was sub 3. And I was going to go at 2:50 pace because that would have given me a little bit of a buffer should things not go quite right. Because whether I was running at 6:40 pace, 6:50 pace, that sort of thing, if my stomach's not right, it's not right. But at least if I had some time in the bank, I could afford to back off. Maybe even, I don't know, if I needed the toilet or needed to take on extra nutrition, that sort of thing. But anyway. This is all Piercy's fault. I feel like he catfished me into a faster time, so I blame him. He wanted to run 2:40, which I think I mentioned in my last video. Then we kind of saw the weather and the wind was awful, and then I think he was like, maybe it's going to be like a 2:45. And then I was chatting to him the night before, and he was like, no, I'm still going to go for 2:40, but I'm just going to set off a bit conservatively. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to kind of weigh up running with someone versus not. And I think running on my own at 2:50 versus running with someone at 2:40 and having company for the whole race, that's way more valuable. It's a great distraction to have when you're running with one of your mates and someone who's kind of focused on a similar sort of time. Then on the start line, he drops a bombshell that he wants to run 2:38. Something to do with, it was linked to the championship qualifying time for London Marathon. So yeah, he told me that, and I was like, right, okay, that's a couple of minutes faster again, so we'll just go with it, whatever. I'm running with you now. Then we set off, and naturally the first mile or two, it's always a bit quicker than it's always a bit quicker than you think it's going to be. So you just got to get on with it, just do it. And it's almost like free time. So you're already maybe 30 seconds up whilst running within yourself and nice and comfortable. So we did that, we got going, and then I think we're on 2:40 pace for the first 10k or so. So we're kind of on schedule. I used the Pace Pro on my Garmin. That was really, really good because I set it to be a negative split. So I set it at 2:40. And we set off, obviously we had that first quicker mile or so we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but we were about 30 seconds up, which was fine. We were happy with that. We kept it controlled. He had to stop and retie his shoelaces after a couple of miles. Mustn't have been taught that at school properly, but So he done that, I waited for him, and then we just kind of plodded along in a nice group, feeling really comfortable, well within ourselves. And we started to pick up a little bit, we started feeling good, but heart rates were controlled. My heart rate was low 150s, it was ideal, it was perfect, exactly what I wanted, and I was feeling nice at sub 240 pace. I think we got down to like let's have a look, I wrote it down. Yeah, so we were 6:06 is 240 pace, and I think we're averaging around the 6 minute mile mark up until halfway. So yeah, we went through halfway in 1:18:30, which is 2:37 pace. I think we just started to creep a little bit faster from like 10 miles to halfway, but heart rates were still controlled and steady, so I wasn't too concerned. I'd been taking my gels at all the stops I was meant to, and my stomach was fine. I was drinking lots, my body was accepting it. I didn't feel like it was splashing around or anything like that, and I was getting all these carbs into my body, knowing fine well that's going to help me in the latter stages. After that, we had a nice good run out of the wind, so we'd had like a few bits of headwind. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The hedgerows were quite high, which helped, and yeah, we had a nice run. We started clipping along at like 5:45s, 5:50s, and again we were moving ahead of schedule, and I think we got down to like 2:36 pace, which was amazing. Beasley would have got the time that he wanted, is 2:38 clocking. I mean, I was delighted with anything. I was well ahead of where I'd planned to be, so anything was kind of a bonus. Our plan from there, I think it was to get to about 18 miles. There was a hill just before it. We wanted to get 18 miles and then kind of assess how we were. We got up that hill. It bit a little bit, but not too bad. Then we got some nice running done. We got to 20 miles, under 2 hours. We were like 1:58:30, which was really good going. And then I think Pearsy was like, he was feeling the pace. He wasn't slowing, but he was having to work for it. And obviously everyone's a little bit different. And we kind of said to each other, look, if either of us is feeling good, just to kind of push on. We didn't want to hold each other back. I mean, it was absolutely amazing to run with them for that length of time. But I think I got to around 22 miles, and then I thought, right, I'm going to start to like really push on here. My heart rates were still good. I was feeling strong. And I just started putting the hammer down and hitting some good splits. So mile 23, that was a little bit uphill, but I still maintained the pace we're running, which I was pleased about. After that, I hit a 5:21, so I really started to motor. Then a 5:34, then a 5:18. So my quickest mile of the race was my 26th mile, which I would never have predicted that before the race. I fully expected me to have some sort of real rough patch in the later stages, especially since I'd never really ran that far before. I think the last 10k was like 34:30, which again I was blown away by, and the last 5k was like 16:45. I mean, I wasn't even running park runs that quick a few months ago, and I have no explanation how it happened or how I did it. I just felt amazing and just felt like I could really push on, and was just full of running. And I mean, I didn't have the confidence to push on any earlier with kind of not knowing the distance, not knowing whether my body would cope with the nutrition strategy. I was fully expecting just to hit a wall and slow down, and I just didn't. So yeah, I guess the nutrition worked. It really worked. I've nailed a strategy in my first one, so I've got something to kind of work with now going forwards. I didn't think that level of carbs would be needed, but after doing a little bit of research and chatting to Kev, it kind of was. You need north of 200 grams of carbs going into your body when you're running that far. And another big thing for me was I drank at every single water station. I had minimum 100 ml, most of the time 200, even 250, just getting water into me, because dehydration is like, that's where your cramps come from. And I was determined not to, like say, have cramps in my quads or my calves or my hamstrings. And I was absolutely fine. I didn't have any muscle twinges at all, so felt really good for that. Now looking back at the training, I still can't understand how I've done that off the limited work I've put away over the last few months. I've trained for a half marathon. I've done a 16-mile run, a 20-mile run, and then a 17-mile run in the last few weeks, and that's it. So it's exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to starting this marathon journey. My benchmark's pretty high now, considering where I've opened. So I guess I'm just going to have to really knuckle down, put some work in, and raise my base fitness, and hopefully the top end stuff will come. And the beauty of this is I don't know where the ceiling is. I've never done one before, well, until yesterday. I've never trained for one before, so I'm really excited and looking forward to that part. It should be an exciting 12 months. So next up is the Alton Towers half marathon. I've always planned on doing that. I've entered that, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's given me a huge amount of confidence, especially like coming home in sub 75 in a marathon on a rolling course with wind. I know Alton Towers isn't the quickest of courses, so I'm kind of just going to enjoy that one and just try and win it. Always wanted to just win a race for the kids, because when I came home, the first thing they said to me was, "Did you win?" No, I didn't. I'm not that fast yet. But the boys, they're 7 and 12. Like, they kind of don't get it. You run a race, did you win? That's kind of the first question. A bit like a football match. Did you play? How many goals did you score? They can't really comprehend what a 2:33 marathon means. Especially when I used to tell them about my running, and I used to win all the time, or win a fair bit of the time. But tomorrow I'm going to go and watch and support Lucas in his cross country. He's been selected for the school to run in I think it's the county school championships. So I'll head along to Temple Park at South Shields and watch and cheer him on. Hopefully he can do well. He's done that the last 2 years and seems to really enjoy it, which makes me proud. In Temple Park, where I used to run as well, I've run the Northeast Champs there, I've run the Northern Cross Country Champs there, so it's a good little course, so I'm looking forward to watching him run. Now today, recovery-wise, I've been okay. Struggling to walk down the stairs, but that's just from my sore quads, I think, from like some of the steep downhills. The course rolled a bit, it was up and it was down. Obviously there was the headwind and tailwind as well. You've got to see the positives when it's windy. I said that in my last video. You've just got a fartlek. So we were just kind of relaxing into the wind, and then when we turned and we had a tailwind, we just kind of went for it a bit and got some of the time back. So today is just a bit of a recovery day. I'm toying with the idea of going for a run. I think I might, just really slow, because my quads are sore. But surprisingly, like my calves, my hamstrings, they're absolutely fine. I would have put money on the fact they would have been in bits today, but they're not. And my quads are only sore from the downhills. I think had I been on a flat marathon, my quads wouldn't have even been that bad. Just out for a walk, stretching my legs, getting my steps. As I said to my neighbour Michael, who he loves his running as well, the worst thing about the marathon is doing your 10,000 steps the day after. It's not enjoyable, because every step my quads are aching, but sure, it'll die off. And then after that, I don't really have any other aims or the focuses, so I'll probably be quiet for a week or so just while I recover, and then I'll slowly just build back into training. I don't know how long it's going to take to fully recover, so I'm just going to take it easy, just not do anything silly, not too much volume, and just kind of learn from the whole experience. It's been a pretty steep learning curve, but I feel like I've coped pretty well. I've learned a lot in the last week or so, and delighted with how it's gone. So roll on the next one.